All right, let's turn to page 27. So we're going to check that we're on the correct page. And let's read our, let's read our instructions. It says use a comma and the word and or but when joining two sentences to form a compound sentence. Begin a compound sentence with a capital letter. End a compound sentence with a correct punctuation. So highlighter. Important things to remember: comma, our two conjunctions, and we need to remember our capital letters and the correct end punctuation. So we're just gonna connect it like that. Those are just reminders. We already know what to do. All right, let's see. Read each pair of sentences. Use a comma and the word and or but to join each pair of sentences. So we're basically doing the same thing again. But there might be some errors or mistakes that we need to correct. So this one says, I wanted to choose a pet, period. It wasn't easy, question mark. So that right there already is making me go, what? That's not a question. So that's probably something we need to fix. But let's think about our conjunction first. I wanted to choose a pet, period. It wasn't easy. Are these two things in agreement, or are they kind of disagreeing and saying different ideas? So I wanted to choose a pet and it wasn't easy. That would work. I wanted to choose a pet, but it wasn't easy. I think that might be the better choice, because we go into the pet store or the shelter to adopt or wherever we're going and we think, oh, this is going to happen, no problem. And then it turns out it's not as easy as we thought. So I'm going to choose but for this one. So I'm going to rewrite it. I wanted to choose a pet, comma, but it wasn't easy. So I could either put a period, or if I wanted to spice it up a little, I could put an exclamation point to show that I was, I felt some kind of way about it and it wasn't easy and I was frustrated. So that's how you're going to do these. Number 2 says, first I wanted a cat, period, then I wanted a dog. So you're going to choose and or but, and you're going to join those two sentences and then check for cups. Let's put our cups reminder off to the side. So you'll join these two sentences, you'll check for cups and anything else that you need to check, and then you'll move on. Number 3, cats don't need baths, period. They don't need walks. So you'll make your best choice, is this and or but, and you'll go ahead and combine them. Number 4, dogs like to play, period. They can learn tricks. Choose the correct conjunction and write out that compound sentence. Number 5, I talked to mom and dad, question mark, then we took a vote, period. So this is probably another one where this needs to change, just a hint, okay? You have to decide, okay, when I combine these two ideas, which one should I use? And then go ahead and write it the way that it needs to look. Check for cups. And then number 6, tomorrow we are going to get a dog, period. We know exactly what kind. So make your conjunction choice and write it in the way that it should look. Check for cups. When you've gone back over your work, you've checked cups for all of them and checked that you have a comma and a conjunction in every single one, then you're done with this worksheet. All right, learners, this is our last page in the packet. So I'm going to take a look at our instructions, just get a review. A sentence that contains two sentences joined by and or but is called a compound sentence. I'm just going to circle our conjunctions as a reminder. Use a comma before and or but when you join two sentences to form a compound sentence. So we need to make sure we're remembering our commas. All right. Our instructions say, read the paragraph and look for sentences you can combine. Then rewrite the paragraph. All right. So let's get started. First sentence says, I observed my cat. Then I studied my dog. We could maybe leave those alone. Let's read a little bit and see what's next. My cat is small. He weighs 20 pounds. My dog is big. She weighs 50 pounds. Okay, here's what I think. I think we could leave these two alone. When we start talking about the cat, we have two statements about the cat. We have that he's small and that he weighs 20 pounds. That's pretty big for a cat, so I'm not sure why they're saying he's small, but I think that we could combine these two. Okay, and I think that we could use comma and to combine those, which means that will need to be lowercase. I also think we could combine the two statements about the dog. My dog is big. She weighs 50 pounds. I think we could do comma and then do a lowercase s there. Both like to sleep. Both like to be in the sun. Okay. I'm noticing right now the writing is repeating itself. Both like and both like. That is boring for a reader, and the reader doesn't want to read that over and over again. So we should combine these ideas. Both like to, and especially since they have them in common, both like to sleep. We could put a comma there. I'm just going to cross out this phrase and put and be in the sun. So we'll say both like to sleep, comma, and be in the sun. All right. My cat likes to chase birds. He likes to climb. My dog likes to dig. She plays fetch. So how about we combine the cat ideas again? My cat likes to chase birds. He likes to climb. I think we can do comma and lowercase h. And we'll combine the dog. My dog likes to dig. She plays fetch. We'll do the same thing because those aren't in disagreement. Those are saying two things about the dog. My cat sleeps on my bed, period. My dog sleeps on my floor. They are good animals. Both make great pets. So we haven't used contrast yet and put the conjunction but in, so I think I might use it here. My cat sleeps on my bed, and since we're saying two different places where they slept, we'll use but. But my dog sleeps on my floor. They are good animals, both make great pets. We don't have to combine these. We can leave a few sentences to be short to keep a variety for our reader. All right. So what we're going to do next after we make all these edits is copy down to the lines in the correct way. So making the corrections. So we'll start here. I'm going to indent. I observed my cat. Then I studied, my dog, period. Okay, so I've got those two. My cat is small, comma. Should have a dot. My cat is small, comma. And he with a lowercase h, and he weighs 20 pounds, period. My dog is big, comma, and she weighs 50 pounds. Okay, so I'm going to put that here, new sentence. My dog is big, comma, and she weighs 50 pounds. Okay, so do you guys see how I'm just taking what we noted up here and making it look nice in compound sentences. You're going to keep going. We left off here after pounds. So you're going to start with both like to sleep, comma, and be in the sun, period. And then you'll keep going, combining in the way that we discussed. If you run out of room, it's okay to write kind of down here toward the bottom. If you really, really run out of room and you need an extra paper, I'll make sure that I have some sitting out for you, just in case. And we can always staple it to the back. Or you can write onto the back too, if that's easier. All right, so once you copy down all those compound sentences that we made, and you check for, again, we got to check for cups. And you make sure that every conjunction has a comma right before it. And your spelling matches, because you have all your words here that you should be able to spell them. Then you are done with this worksheet. Good work.